While grounding and key features are part of your practice and performance, proactive planning is going to happen away from those places. Okay? Proactive planning is a process where you identify anything that might require a decision or that will need to happen quickly or that you might need to learn more deeply in order to be successful. Basically, proactive planning is a system for keeping yourself from spinning your wheels while you spin your wheels. Now, there are a number of ways we can integrate this, but I'm going to focus on two for you to use on a regular basis: visualization scripts and walkthroughs or pre-rides or race rehearsals. Starting with visualization scripts, well, what is one? Okay. More importantly, let's start with what is visualization. Visualization is a process of running through a specific event, action, or skill in your mind, imagining yourself doing that single central focus. Now, you can use visualization to get better at something by taking what you know and putting it to action in your mind over and over, refining it as you go through things. Now, without visualization, you might intentionally and deliberately practice a skill a few times each week. With it, you're going to get more practice reps without more fatigue. Now, as you visualize, you might take the point of view where you're watching yourself like you're a spectator, or you may see things as if you're looking out through your own eyes. We're all going to be better at one or the other, but I really encourage you to work with both. The visualization script, then, is a step-by-step note you write to guide what you're going to hold in your mind during this process. Now, rule number one, you don't script everything. Right? Think of this like taking Tylenol. You'll only take Tylenol when you need it for something, for a very specific purpose, right? Well, visualization scripts are the same. You don't need to be working on everything all the time. You want to be working on the one most important thing that you feel you need to address right now to refine your current performance level. Now, it might be a script for a single skill, like descending or running a hill, or it might be a script for dialing in your butterflies to that right level for you, rehearsing your start line energy or attention. Okay. Or it could be a way to help yourself with a single segment of a race that's approaching that you want to execute in a very specific way. Okay. Whatever you choose, write your script so that you can hold a rehearsal in your mind repeatedly for what you want to look and feel and do for that very specific and short part of a performance. Now, is your script going to recognize every single scenario and variation possible? No, it isn't. So start with your most common scenario and see it. You want your script to include vivid details. Where are you? What are the conditions? What are the steps of that action that you need to take? What are your trigger keywords? What's your effort going to feel like? How do you want it to feel? Now, what do you want to be thinking and what do you want to be bringing your attention to? You choose all of this as you write your script. And so you're going to be asking yourself questions. How's that happen? What are the steps? Now, if I were to write a script for, let's say, a cyclocross start line, I would say the when is a regular season normal race. I would write out what that start line is going to look like and then the steps I'm going to take. And it would include kind of a segmented series of events like this. One of the things that I want to bring your attention to is that effort is included here. I personally use a max effort of 10. So I would want that effort for the start of that kind of race to be quite high, and I'd put a number on that. And I'd also put words on where my focus is and making sure that I am choosing action words and action items that are going to help me. Okay. So you write this out. Then you read it several times. Then you sit in a place and close your eyes and see yourself doing it. In your mind, go through it in real time. Your body might move a little bit. there might be a little bit of physicality to it. When you're doing this, there are going to be pieces that you'll be able to see and visualize really, really well. There are also going to be pieces that are clunky and chunky. Well, that's what the practice of this is for. As you visualize it, smooth out those clunky parts. Revise your script often. Make it flexible. You're always going to have to react to changing circumstances because you race in sport with other people. Practicing adapting your visualizations to be flexible is an asset for that as well. Now, again, just to repeat this, the power of visualization is that it gives you opportunities to practice a scenario far more than you ever could in real life. That said, you still don't want to go crazy with it. You don't want to be doing this all the time. You want to find a quiet spot in your day or include it, sort of bracket it around your work, and let it help you refine and advance your skills than if you just practiced alone. So now, in addition to visualization, you have opportunities for walkthroughs or pre-rides or race rehearsals, kind of depending on your sport or your season. Approach these opportunities systematically with a checklist, right? Using a checklist lets you make sure that you assess all the information you need when you're under low stress so that you can more easily adjust in an environment during a race or performance when you're under high stress. Use that checklist ahead of time to make decisions ahead of racing so you're not processing all that info during racing. Basically, it's a pre-deciding pre-plan. Right. Let's take an example. When you rehearse or walk through or pre-ride a course, you're going to be looking at the course as a whole, and then you're also going to be looking at individual features of that course that might be notable or a challenge for you. This is where your checklist comes in handy. Your checklist, in my opinion, should be a series of questions. That series of questions include, what is that? How might it be a stressor to me? What's my primary goal or purpose in this segment or section? What possible decisions might I have to make? And what are my possible responses and actions? Well, what right now seems like the best choice for however this potential situation is looking, or given the conditions, or knowing the other athletes who are going to be present, with my own current fitness and skill levels? And then, just in case, what's my next best choice? You start to explore the course as the whole and the segments with the checklist. Again, it's not going to prepare you for every single scenario, so you should always have a prime driving bottom line. If nothing else seems to be working the way you should when you're in the real world moment, boil it down and go forward. Right? Find a way to go forward. The skills that you can practice with this checklist or set up with this checklist really do boil down to find a good way to go forward faster with clearer thoughts. So proactive planning helps clear your thoughts while you're racing because you've already been through it. You don't have to figure it out on the fly while you're under stress, while you're under duress. You already have options lined up, and you can always add, refine, or modify your visualization scripts, your information, your checklists as you go along. Proactive planning really truly sets the foundation for that, and I encourage you to do it.